So would it be empowering to know that you weren't just dealt a bad hand of cards, but that there is something that you can do to improve your body and to improve your life? So what if somebody came up to you and they said, guess what? I know the truth about what causes 90% of chronic disease in the human body. I know the truth about what happens. I know the truth about why people are so sick. I know the truth about what leads to things like cancer and heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Would you want to know that truth? And then what if they said, and every single person experiences it on a daily basis, and we have to combat it? And then what if they said it's not genetic? In fact, according to science, only 1% of all disease is caused by genetics, by genes turning off and on and creating different types of disease. So would it be empowering to know that you weren't just dealt a bad hand of cards, but that there is something that you can do to improve your body and to improve your life? I get the opportunity to speak all over our community, all over the country, frankly, to different groups of people. And I ask this question, I say, how many of you in the room have in the last couple years had somebody in your family that's experienced something like cancer? I'll have them stand up. Most of the room will stand up. I'll say, how about someone in your close to you that you love that's experienced heart disease? People stand up. Diabetes, chronic fatigue, anxiety, depression, insomnia, okay, digestive issues, right? Gut issues, concerns, inflammation within the body, leading to all kinds of different problems. And at this point, everybody's up, of course. And I say, what if you knew that there was one root cause to all of these things? Who would be curious? And most people already kind of know the answer. And guess what that answer is? The answer is stress. You guys, this could be potentially the most important message that you hear from me at this time, is that stress is causing disease. Stress is the root cause of over 90%, according to the National Institute of Health, over 90% of chronic disease. It can be contributed back to chronic, unrelenting stress on the human body. It's a bold statement, isn't it? But we're going to unpack that here a little bit, because I believe that if you understand these concepts, you understand health. And when you are empowered with knowledge, you understand how to move forward. And when we're going to do that, that's how we're going to thrive, okay? So I'll ask you, I say, so what part of the body do you think controls the stress response? And most people will say things like your adrenal glands or your heart or the digestive organs or these different things. The reality is that your stress response is controlled by your nervous system. Your central nervous system, your brain and your spinal cord and all those nerves that branch off of that into the peripheral nervous system control how our bodies receive input and therefore how we respond to stress. Let me give you an example of that. Your liver, for example, your liver cell is going to respond to your environment. The way that your body, any organ in your body, responds to different things has to do with our external environment. Well, then people say, well, the environment affects the body. Well, how does the liver cell know what's going on in your environment? The answer is the central nervous system. Reads all the input, packages all up, gives it to our human body in order to respond to. Now, here's the truth. We have two parts of our nervous system. We have one part that we call our sympathetics, or for many people, we refer to our nervous system, that part of our nervous system, as the fight or flight type response, okay? The other part is called our parasympathetics. In the wellness world, we call it our rest, our digest, and our heal part of our nervous system. Extremely important, right? To have your body heal when we're sleeping. We're detoxifying, our cells are detoxifying, we're replenishing, and our body is healing during something like sleep, during digesting food, all these things. Now, what happens when we go back in time? Let's go back in time to kind of illustrate this point where the first people, okay, that were on this earth, all right, they didn't have all the stuff that we have here today. And so what were their threats? What were the stressors in that time? It was probably predators, maybe food, those types of things. So let's talk predators. So a lion starts chasing me, okay? Say I'm one of the first people and I'm being chased by a lion, all right? The human body is going to go into, hopefully, a fight or flight type response. Okay, so I go into fight or flight. My nervous system kicks my body into fight or flight. Well, if I'm trying to run from a lion, what are the most important things to have in order to get away from this lion? Well, my body knows that I need my arms and my legs in order to run and climb trees and escape this lion that's trying to eat me. So the body does an amazing thing where it will actually clamp off the vessels and the capillaries within your digestive organs in order to shunt blood to your legs and to your arms. Why? Well, because our legs and our arms need energy. Energy comes in the form of blood and all the nutrients. And if I'm running from a tiger, my body does not give two rips about digesting a meal. Okay, so it knows that I gotta stop putting energy towards digesting food, stop putting energy towards literally anything else, put all my energy towards pumping that blood to my extremities in order to run away from this tiger. Well, what else? What do you need to get away from a lion? Excuse me, I'm using a lion example. What do you need to get away from a lion? Well, I need energy, right? So I need to do everything I can to focus my energy on escaping this lion. Well, what else takes energy? Guess what consumes an immense amount of energy? Your immune system. And we're going to come back to this. Okay, think about it. When somebody's really, really sick, a lot of times they can't even get out of bed. Your immune system uses a tremendous amount of energy, okay, in order to fight off an infection of any sort. Okay, so let's go back to our example here. Say the individual, say it's me or whoever, is running from this lion while also fighting off a viral or a bacterial infection. Okay, what's going to happen? Well, my body says, to heck with the bacterial or viral infection. If this lion gets you, it's not going to matter. So we got to suppress the immune system, up your energy quickly, shunt blood to your arms and legs, and we get away from this lion. What else? Two parts of our brain. You got your forebrain and your hindbrain. Your forebrain is responsible for creativity, for conscious thought, for sitting back, wisdom, making good conscious thought-provoked decisions. Do you think I care about being creative and making good conscious decisions when a lion decides to make me its lunch? No. So we're going to restrict blood from going to our forebrain. We're going to shunt it back to our hindbrain, which our hindbrain is responsible for reactivity, okay? For making sure that we're making quick decisions, for reflexes, okay? We're making reactive, reflexive type responses in order to quickly make decisions and get away from this threat, okay? So you use those examples and you bring it into today, okay? Now, how's the story end? Okay, hopefully our hero gets away from the lion or beats it, ends it with a spear or something like that, right? Once the threat is taken care of, we go back to the proverbial cave, back to the home. We rest, we're with family, we celebrate, we're having a meal, we're with our spouse, whatever it is. Our body then, the threat is taken care of. We go into parasympathetic mode, rest, digest, heal the body. So fast forward to today. If I had to ask you where most people spend most of their day, do you think it is in fight or flight, or do you think it is in rest, digest, and heal? And most people are like, well, I know I spend most of my day in fight or flight, and you'd be right. What kind of stressors do we experience today? We're probably not running from lions. If you're seeing this video, you're probably not worried about a predatory threat today, okay? But you're running from the lions of, maybe you've got financial stress. Maybe your work is extremely stressful. Maybe you're worried about, the things going on right now with the pandemic. And businesses are shutting down, and your business, or we're just stressed out. There's so many unknowns. There's so many questions. You guys, 24/7, 365 stress. The body is not equipped to handle that. And I'm going to tell you something that's extremely important to remember. You're going to want to write this down. Your body's inability to adapt to stress is causing it to break down. The human body's inability to adapt to stress is causing it to break down. What types of stress are there? There's physical, there's chemical, and there's emotional stress. Short-term stress, guess what? Is it a good thing? Absolutely. A great example of a short-term, really powerful and really healthy stress is exercise. Okay, we're stressing the body, we're working our lungs, we're working our heart, we're working those muscles, we're shunting blood, we're cleaning ourselves out. Exercise is a great example of a short-term stress, okay? But long-term stress is where we have the problems. Now listen to this. When you have long-term stress in the body, this is why researchers, doctors, anybody worth their salt will agree that chronic stress on the body is the reason that we have such poor health right now in most first world countries, especially in the United States. Okay, we're chronically stressed, we're overweight, we're overworked, we're not sleeping enough, we're not taking care of our bodies, and we're constantly connected. Okay, we have information overload all the time. I was talking to somebody about this recently. It used to be that you got the newspaper and maybe you had the 5 o'clock news. That was your source of information. You moved on with your life. Now it's constant. It's like, I don't know where things are coming from. It's just stress, stress, stress. And that's by design. We click on things that are more shocking, right? So stress is a part of our day-to-day life. We're sitting a lot on computers. We're chronically stressing our bodies in that way, okay? So it's no wonder, if you know somebody that struggles with chronic digestive issues, your body doesn't care to digest a meal if you're stressed out. With chronic fatigue, we're not sleeping well. With anxiety, of course, stress, okay? With things like heart disease. Guys, inflammation, all these different things, the root cause of these things is stress, okay? And so what do we do about it? The answer is that we have to start to focus on things to help our body adapt and thrive. Because the good news is, there's great news, your body's not a mistake. You're designed to adapt. You are designed to thrive through your environment. But we have to manage the stress appropriately. So what are some things that we can do? Okay? We have to watch what we're consuming as far as media, social media, all that stuff. I will tell you guys right now, the absence of phones and TVs would decrease our country's stress and improve its health immediately. Okay, I guarantee it. I will put my mark on that. Okay, we have to watch that. We need to do things that bring us life. We need to be with family. We need to remove ourselves from some of the social constructs and get out in nature, get out and breathe, go out in the mountains, go by the ocean, whatever it is, and give your mind a break and rest. Give yourself some time to think. Everybody feels so stressed out. There's no time, pull back and say, okay, I'm going to take 10 minutes here just to think and just figure out, like, where am I at? So important. Mindfulness. Find you a good counselor, a good friend, a good mentor. Mental health is arguably one of the most important aspects of all of this. Okay. We need to focus on how we take care of our bodies. Okay. We need to start moving. We need to start eating well. Okay, we need to start thinking well, right? We need to do these different things. For me, as a chiropractor, that's what I do by trade. We love working with the spine because it directly affects the human nervous system, okay? And when you're affecting the human nervous system to allow the body to adapt better to the stresses around it, the results are profound. Sure, we can decrease pain, and that's important. Okay, I always want people feeling better. I want people's nervous systems to function better. And when we do that, that's how we make a big change, okay? Guys, listen. When we're stressed out too, one of the most important things is that stress, as I said in our lion example, suppresses the immune system. Why? Well, because it takes energy. You know how I know this to be a fact too? In modern medicine today, in Western medicine, they use stress hormones therapeutically. Stress hormones are used to purposely suppress immunity for something like an organ transplant. Think of that. If someone has an organ transplant, a heart or a liver or whatever it is, an organ transplant, in order for that recipient's body to take that transplant and actually use it, not attack itself, we have to suppress the immune system. Guess what they use? Stress hormones. It's that effective. It's so effective that it's used therapeutically. So if we want our bodies to, power through a bacteria or a virus or anything, we have to decrease our stress so that our immune system can function properly, okay? I want to empower you with a message that your body is not a mistake. It's made well. It's designed to be well. You have more power than you think you do. Okay, I don't subscribe to the idea that we were just dealt the bad hand of cards and we have bad genes. Remember, only 1% of disease comes from genetics. The rest comes from lifestyle choices, and the root of all of that is stress, okay? Decrease your stress, improve your life, thrive. You deserve it, okay? You deserve it, you're worth it, and we look forward to seeing you do the same. God bless you guys. Have an amazing, amazing day.